Hi, I'm CeCee Torres for IdeateTV here at LA Comic Con 2022, and we are with director animator Tom Cook. Welcome to IdeateTV. Welcome to LA Comic Con. How has the response been? You've been busy nonstop.
Boy, it's been incredible. Yeah, I've done the show 6 or 7 times, and back when Stan Lee was the head of it and everything. And so it's one of my favorite shows because, of course, I used to work right over the hill. So I always come back here. I live in Idaho now, and it's been just overwhelming. I mean, we've been so busy, as you know, since it's been so hard to find a time to do this. Yeah.
And I think part of the reason you're so busy is the characters that you helped create. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was so lucky that when I started the business, it was really a great time for animation. So I started with Superfriends and Scooby Doo and Godzilla, and they moved into the Smurfs and Thundarr and Plastic Man, eventually He-Man, She-Ra, did Roger Rabbit, Prince and the Pauper with Mickey Mouse. So I've had a pretty big, long career. Then I became a director, and I directed King of the Hill, Simpsons episode, and a bunch of other shows like Extreme Ghostbusters, Savage Dragon, and I could go on and on.
I knew what my response was. What's the response when they find out, did he draw He-Man? Did you draw Scooby Doo? Were you involved in that?
Yeah, it's always like, you did this? You did, they go through my book, and I tell them I did everything in the book. Wow. And then as they do it, they go, Thumbelina? You did Thumbelina? Everything in the book. We're back? You did everything in the book. So it happens all the time.
And what's that process like for coming up with these characters?
Well, somebody else comes up with the characters. I actually work with the director, and the director says, all right, in this scene, I want him to come in, I want him to, whatever he's going to do. And I'm the actor, and I draw what I think he should act like, and the voice does the voice. He's the voice actor. So I listen to how he says what he says, and then I make him so it looks like he's saying whatever he's saying, And if you can get this real quick, I've got a little flip book of Spider-Man that I did. And I bring that along. I'll show you too.
Yes, please.
Just so you can kind of see how I used to do things.
Wow.
So it's all hand-drawn, and you have to know how things move to make it look realistic. And I had no idea I knew how to do that until I started Hanna-Barbera. Right. And I started experimenting on my own stuff. That's amazing. And kept bringing it to directors, and they said, okay, you're ready to be an animator. And then I eventually became a director. So,
what was that career like? Was it a dream come true to be able to do that?
Well, it was a dream that I couldn't even dream come true, because I was actually an LA bus driver.
Really?
For 5 years. I was driving a bus right down here. I would bring people down to LA to go to work. And I took a class in comic book art over at Cal State Northridge, and the teacher worked at Hanna-Barbera. And he said, I really love your superheroes, and we're doing a show called Superfriends. We could use somebody that could draw superheroes. Would you like me to recommend you? Next thing I know, I'm working at Hanna-Barbera. Yeah.
And the rest is history. And speaking of history, your characters have kind of stood the test of time. Like I watched He-Man.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Scooby Doo. What's that feel like?
Well, it's amazing because I've been to Dubai, I've been to Ecuador, I've been to Mexico City. They all love He-Man. Everybody knows it. And it's really weird when you're over in Dubai and there's sheiks coming up to you saying, I loved He-Man. It's really weird. But of course, they heard it in a different language. So the voice was different, but all the artwork was still my artwork. So
that's
yeah,
really cool.
It's pretty cool.
Do you happen to have a favorite character, or do you love them all equally?
Well, my favorite show I ever worked on was something called Thundarr the Barbarian, which I've got some pops of Thundarr right there. But that was a show that we did in the 1980 at Ruby Spears. And Thundarr was created by Jack Kirby and Steve Gerber. Steve Gerber created Howard the Duck, and Jack Kirby created Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk.
Yes, okay.
Fantastic. He was the main guy at Marvel. So he was my big hero growing up. That's why I wanted to learn how to draw. And next thing you know, I'm meeting him working on Thundarr.
That is awesome.
So that was really awesome. Yeah.
Well, Thank you so much, Mr. Cook, for taking the time to talk to us.
My pleasure.
Thank you, mine too. And if people want to find more from you, where can they find you?
Yeah, well, if you find me on Facebook, if you just put in Tom Cook Animator, I usually pop up, and then you can ask to be friended or whatever. And I also, if anybody want to contact me to get a drawing or something, it's just 80sanimator@gmail.com. So it's 80s, 80s Animator. Yeah.
And we were playing a quick game of Would You Rather with the people here at Comic Con. So let me ask you one directed to you. Would you rather have the strength of He-Man or the smarts of the Scooby Doo gang put together?
Oh, man. You know, I think I'd go Scooby Doo gang. Yeah.
Why is that?
That was just such an iconic show. And it's one of the shows that it doesn't matter how old you are, you know it.
Yes.
He-Man, if you're a little younger, you didn't, unless you had a good dad. But so that's the one I think I would choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no, you have the power.
I do have the power.
You
Yeah.
do have the power. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
again. And for IdeateTV, I'm CeCee Torres.